Well, for more update in Chad, RI Special Correspondent Carl Bostic joins us now from just outside the capital in N'Djamena. Carl, thank you for joining us today. What exactly is happening and where exactly are you?
Well, what we know so far is that the Transitional Military Council, as you indicated, they've actually rejected an offer from the rebels to negotiate now that the burial ceremony of Idris Deby Itno has concluded on Friday. The leader of the rebels, that's Muhammad Makti Ali, he had said they would prefer not to fight, not to have a conflict, but instead have a negotiated arrangement for a more inclusive government that's not a military-run government. Instead, that offer was rejected out of hand. That's also despite even the African Union themselves saying that they disagree with a decision to place Chad under military rule for the next 18 months. They believe that the Constitution of Chad should be honored no matter what. In other words, the democratic institutions of Chad are being flouted and ignored right now. That's the problem. But again, the thing to keep in mind is this. You know, you talk about now the bombardment of rebel activity that's now being conducted in the countryside. That's only one of many threats or pressures now facing the military council, basically challenging its authority and legitimacy. The council that's being led by Idris Deby's son, Muhammad Deby Itno. There's also rival factions within the family itself. For example, Idris Deby's wife, Hinda Deby, she temporarily actually was given control of the government last year when Idris Deby was severely ill, and she ran the government. Four of her brothers also were part of the operation of the government. One of her brothers was the aide-de-camp with Idris Deby, was with him when he was killed, and three of her other brothers were government ministers. We don't know what the status of the wife or those brothers will be in this new arrangement, for example. And then you've got the military itself. The military is somewhat divided because there's disagreement about whether or not this is going to be a continuation and extension of one family rule for Chad. Don't forget that Idris Deby, as you mentioned, was in charge of the country for more than 30 years, one of the world's longest serving rulers. That's all compounded by the fact that the French President Emmanuel Macron, who attended the ceremony on Friday, the only Western leader to attend, and in many ways the patron of Chad, has indicated that it was preferable to have stability here, even if it was unconstitutional, than a messy transition. And because, if anything, it sees Chad as the linchpin of its military, of its security strategy in the region. In other words, controlling, if not eradicating, the Islamic Jihad or Al-Qaeda threat that's now flourishing, and not flourishing as a threat in the Sahel region. Let's not forget, Chadian soldiers are considered to be some of the toughest soldiers in sub-Saharan Africa. And they've been used and deployed to places like Mali, Niger, and other countries as well to fight Islamic jihadists. The worry now is that because of the uncertainty here, those forces may have to come back to the country, further destabilizing the region. But I want to quickly just mention where I am. I'm outside the entrance of the city by the Shari River, which is one of the main supplies for Lake Chad itself, because what you need to consider, this political crisis is also impacting the economic well-being of the country and the environmental well-being of the country. This river here, the Shari River, I'm basically standing on a spot where I shouldn't be. I should be underwater. This is the riverbed where I'm standing. And instead, over the years, in fact, in the past 10 to 20 years, all of this was underwater. You can see that bridge there. The water level for the river was almost as high as the bridge itself, or at least halfway up. All that steadily declined. So even though it may look like these people are enjoying a day at the beach, bathing or swimming, it's actually a warning sign. It's a big, big warning sign of what's going on because the government has not devoted attention and resources to water management. That's what's going on. And if you just take a quick look around where we are, we can just see, again, everything I'm showing you is the riverbed. Everything we should be underwater right now, and we're not. Even with the rainy season, it will not be enough water. And if you look over here again, what they can harvest, they're doing right now, given the lack of water. And when the rainy season comes, again, as I said, it still may not be enough water. And that's because of proper water management and resource management, not only for this area, but also for Lake Chad itself. But as long as you've got a government in turmoil with political and security crises, these kinds of issues will not be addressed at all. They'll be delayed. And it'll make livelihoods much more at risk. You'll have food insecurity, and you have further instability.
Okay, well, thank you, Carl. Would have loved to ask you more, but we're out of time. Hopefully we'll catch up with you some more later on. Thank you.